だから誰もいないってば。
でもほら、なんとなくね。
What does she mean, right? A greeting is something you say to another party to start a conversation. If there is no other party, then it's nothing more than talking to yourself.
この部屋に来るのもずいぶん久しぶりな気がするな。
She stretches out her arms as she says this.
そう言いながらいきなり誰の家だかわからないみたいにくつろがないでくれるかな。
いいじゃない、知らない仲じゃないんだし。勝手知ったる他人のなんとやら。
ま、いいんだけどね。
お、気が利くじゃない。サンキュー。
In our hands are cold carbonated drinks, with drops of water condensing on the glass. I hear the pleasant sound of ice shifting. I feel that this moment is very precious in a way.
それでパソコンはむつきちゃんの部屋にあるんだったよね。
僕の部屋にもあるけど。
そういう質問じゃないでしょ。
あ、そっか。
I was spacing out a bit just now, so I didn't realize that by computer she meant the computer. If we were speaking English and not Japanese, she could have used the definite article and I would have understood immediately.
今から行く？
そのために来たんだけど。それとも他に何かあるの？
何かってそういうわけじゃないよ。
そうなんだ。期待して損しちゃった。まあ分かってはいたけどね。
そうだ、面白い CD があるんだ。これが傑作でさ。
ひなた？
それとも最近仕入れた新しいネタがいいかな。ペンローズとクラーク・ケント、どっちが強い？答えはペンはケンよりも強しでペンローズの勝ち。
あのね。
そうだ、駅前の商店街で面白い店を見つけたんだよ。入り口はおもちゃ雑貨屋みたいなんだけど、中に入ると見たことがない本がいっぱい。
Hinata, you're talking a little bit too much.
普段からこのくらい喋ってくれればいいんだけどね。
ね。
君、熱でもあるの？
どうして？
When I come to my senses, Sakuya's face is right in front of me. She presses her forehead against mine. I don't know how to respond, so we remain standing next to each other. Sakuya moves her forehead away and begins to compare the temperature of my forehead to hers with her palm.
微妙だな。ちょっと微熱かも。
大丈夫だよ。
じゃあ何なの？あの動揺ぶりは。
What do you think?
僕は動揺なんて。
Well, you certainly are now. I cut myself off halfway through. Damn, this isn't working at all. But if I wasn't jittery, then why was I stuttering so much?
何かむつきちゃんの部屋に私が入るとまずいことでもあるの？
そうじゃない。ただ、
真実に向き合う勇気がない？
そうかもしれない。
It seems like I'm hesitating, but what else can I do? In the end, it turns out that this is just the kind of person I really am.
大丈夫だよ。私がついてるから。一緒にむつきちゃんを探しに行こう。
Sakuya takes my hand and starts advancing as if she's guiding me. Men are violent, simple, vain, and weak. Women are elegant, mysterious, very jealous, and strong. I walk alongside Sakuya as if she's leading the way with a lantern in a deep darkness, even if what lies ahead is a road that leads to hell.
ちゃんと片付いてるのね。
そうだね。父さんはまるでここにまだムツキがいるように思ってたみたいで、2年前と同じようにしておくことにすごく神経を使ってた。
そうなんだ。
僕もなんだかその方が落ち着くし。
でも、それってなんか悲しい。
そう？
過去に囚われてる。むつきちゃんは過去にいるのかな？
え？
自分の未来を切り開くために家を出たんでしょ？
そんなこと。
That was something I hadn't even tried thinking about, that she was somewhat unhappy, and so felt she had to run away from home to escape that. If she didn't, then how could she move herself forward?
そうだったよね。ここにもいたんだよね。
え？
When I look towards Sakuya, I see she's sitting on Mutsuki's bed, petting Moon Bunny.
ごめん。あの時は。うわ。
Sakuya suddenly embraces the stuffed rabbit with all her might. The way she does so is the exact same way she hugged her own stuffed rabbit when I first gave it to her 10 years ago.
いい子いい子。
もう怒ってないの？
怒ってるわよ。一生忘れない。
わからないよ。
でもそれ以上になんだか愛しさがこみ上げてきたの。ご主人様をずっとここで待ってるのかと思うとね。
In an attempt to shake off these feelings, I head to Mutsuki's computer. There are various patterns being displayed on the 3 monitors. Of course, everything's working because the power's on. The issue is trying to get past the startup screen. But when I think about it carefully, the machine started on its own before I did anything, and displayed that hologram. Doesn't that mean there's someone on the net who cleared its usage with the password? Was that Mutsuki herself? No, now that I think of it, that fairy called Rem was a very indirect representative. Did Mutsuki send her then?
で、これが問題の画面なのね。
Typo. Enter password. What do you see? Nana. Incorrect password.
やっぱりダメか。
なんで咲夜のウサギの名前なんだよ。
うん。このヒントは誰に向けて出されてるのかな？
この何が見えるっていうやつ？
うん。普通自分のパソコン開けてほしくなかったら、こんなヒントなんか書いてかないよ。
ああ。
むつきちゃんは、このヒントを当てた相手にパソコンのデータを開いてほしがっている。そう思わない？
That's a rare logical answer coming from Sakuya.
否定すべき根拠は見当たらない。
何よ、そのネガティブな発言は。
ムツキは、もしかして僕に。
他に誰がいるっていうの？
そんなこと。
どうしちゃったの？
My sister left her computer for me? Just like a memento or something you bequeath in a will. Despite that, I didn't even realize it for 2 years.
僕は、なんてバカだったんだ。兄貴として失格だ。こんな僕なんか、ムツキが見放したって当然じゃないか。
ひなた。
ムツキは、こんなにもサインを残してくれたっていうのに、僕は何一つ見ようとしなかった。この2年間、僕は何をやってきたんだろう。
ひなた。
Sakuya firmly grips my hand once again. My tears, which I'm trying so hard to hold back, fall onto her hands.
いいじゃない、過ぎたことは。今からもう一回頑張ろう。ね。ひなたは、今までいっぱい苦しんだんだから、もう苦しむ必要なんかないんだよ。
Have I come across some kind of space-time rift? It feels like a miracle that I got acquainted with Sakuya and had her accompany me all this time as my childhood friend.
もう、新規臭いのはなしなし。こんな分厚いカーテンなんかしてるから気がめいってくるのよ。
ね。だって、それは。
Dad and I have left this room exactly as it was. That's why we've never opened the curtains once. Despite that, Sakuya yanked them open just like it was nothing. I wonder if I should try to stop her, but my voice doesn't come out. I want to open the way to the futures of both myself and this room.
いい気持ち。見て見て、月が が本当に綺麗なんだから。
I instinctively looked back at the login screen. Enter password. What do you see? What do I see? That would be... Moon. Welcome to Babylon, presented by EDOC.
これってまさか。
パスが通ったんだ。
Sakuya was completely right. I wasn't seeing anything at all.
すごい。どうやったの？
それは。
Because Sakuya was here with me. That's the only reason I was able to solve everything. And the thing that awaits us up ahead in our future is... When I come to my senses, I'm encircled by holograms. This was a city I visited with Sakuya just a little while ago. It looks a lot like Shinjuku.
これがバビロン？
It seems she's thinking what I'm thinking.
そういえばミドリン、すごく現実っぽいって言ってたような気がする。
I like how they changed the font here. That's a nice touch.
バビロンは現実の写し絵。
This place has slightly different tastes from the rumored fantasy-esque network RPGs that I've heard about. All the colors are subdued, and the atmosphere is dark. Log in or make a new account. Those words, written in English, flickered before my eyes. I'm not half bad at English, so I'm okay, but what about players who only know Japanese?
これどっち選べばいいの？
Case in point.
昨夜はバビロン初めてなんでしょ？だったら、こっちのニューだと思う。
ああ、そうか。ニューね、ニュー。ひなたは？
僕もそうだけど。
And so I... yeah, I think I should save. Well, for now, let's just, make a new account. Because we don't know any, any pre-existing credentials, so... So what happens if I do this? Enter your account name. Shamash. Enter password. Moon Bunny. Access denied.
なんだ？
Your account must be unique. Select a new account name. It's all written in English that's above my level, so I use an electronic dictionary to figure out what it says. So in other words, it means someone else is apparently already using the name Shamash. Come to think of it, didn't Rem say something about this?
いつでもダイブできるように、ちゃんとアカウントも用意しておいたんだよ。ちゃんと覚えておいてね、お兄ちゃん。シャマシュだよ、シャマシュ。アルファベットだと、SHAMASH だからね。
I see. I'm where Rem said I needed to be, so I decided to try logging in. Enter your account name. Shamash. Enter password. Huh? Come to think of it, didn't I just find a new password? When I think about it carefully, it's not strange at all. There's nothing else I can do, so I'll give it a shot. Moon. Invalid password.
ダメか。
どうしたの？
I give her the facts straight and simple.
そうね。
Sakuya swiftly reaches her hand out. Thanks to Sakuya, we were able to break through the first protection, but it doesn't look like another miracle's coming our way this time.
きっと何かヒントがあるはずだ。
そうだね。きっとあるよ。
ムツキは、僕がこのアカウントでバビロンに入ることを望んでいた。ログインで記載すれば、きっと何か手がかりがわかる。だから。
ただ、無理はよそ。今日もひなたは十分頑張ったわけだし、眠って休めばまた何かいい考えが浮かぶかもしれないよ。
確かに、そうかもしれない。
That way, I can sort out all the information regarding my experiences with Mutsuki in the real world. Yayoi-sensei did say something like that, right?
私も何か考えてみるから。
ありがとう、咲夜。君がいなかったら、ここまでは来れなかった。
どうしたのよ。改まったりして。
僕は今まで、咲夜に辛く当たってきた。でもそれは間違っている。僕は世間の全てを拒絶し、反抗していたんだ。
私はいつだって許してきたじゃない。
そっか。そうだったよな。
On the surface, Sakuya's acted irritated towards me, but in the bottom of her heart, she's always been forgiving me. Why? I still don't have the resolution to accept the answer to that. The weather isn't looking too good today. Ever since I decided to search for Mutsuki, it feels like all of my surroundings have begun to oppose me. Are they that desperate to prevent me from finding her?
お待たせ。
Sakuya arrives, energetic as ever. It seems the weather has no effect on Sakuya's pressure chart. I wish she could pass me some of that energy.
で、休みなのになんでわざわざ僕らこんなところにいるんだろう。
This morning, she called me and told me to meet her at the bus stop, but didn't let on any further details.
決まってるじゃない。学校に行くためよ。
My fatigue's been building up recently. Unlike before, it feels like I can sleep for as long as I like now.
さようなら。僕は家へ帰って二度寝でもするよ。
Besides, there's no meaning in going to school unless Yayoi-sensei's there, right?
ちょっと待ちなさい。
何するんだよ。
She grabs the nape of my neck from behind, making it impossible for me to move.
いいから、こっちへ来るの。
If it's come to this, then all I can do is give in to her.
で、休みの日にわざわざ出校する理由をきちんと説明してくれるんだろうね。
休みったって、授業がないだけで部活もあれば一部施設は動いてるのよ。
一部施設って、
図書館よ。
図書館？
またオウム返しして、チットはその優秀なおつむを働かせたらどうなのよ。
なるほど。
She's probably saying that if we look through enough different books, we can attempt to deduce the password that we couldn't figure out yesterday.
そういうことか。
でしょでしょ？頭いいでしょ。
自分で言うなよ。
だって、誰も言ってくれないんだもの。
違いない。
ひなた。
Yeah, that's not a nice thing to say.
ああ、ごめん。悪気はないんだよ。だから、いったたたた。というわけで、ここにいるわけね。
The air conditioning is working wonders on this room, and the color tone of the grains of wood is easy on the eyes. Because of the school break, there's almost no other people here aside from librarians. It's more or less deserted.
そうそう。神話コーナーは、と。
It seems Sakuya already has a starting point. Considering the situation yesterday, what would be a good keyword to look up? Babylon? I try thinking about it, but my brain won't work as if it's off-key. I just can't keep up with Sakuya's insight. I really am pathetic.
ごめん、咲夜。
何？
僕はちょっとここで休んでるよ。
I sit down in a nearby chair.
疲れただけだから。 少し休めば治るから。
ひなた。
Sakuya looks at me with concern. I feel really bad about making her worry, but I'm just so very tired right now that there's nothing I can do about it.
わかった。じゃあ参考になりそうな本をいくつか見繕ってくるから、それまでここにいてね。
うん、ありがとう。
She looks at me like she wants to ask something, but she says nothing and disappears off in the direction of the bookshelves. I rest my chin in my hands, and as I remember Mutsuki...
お兄ちゃん。
Wow.
ムツキか。会いたかった。この2年間、本当に会いたかった。
お兄ちゃんは何を見たの？
お前の部屋を暗く閉ざしていたカーテンを開いたら、そこには夢のように鮮やかに月が輝いていた。
そう。月はいつも天空にいるの。たとえ太陽の光にかき消されても、地平線の彼方に沈んでいてもね。
見えなくても、そこにいる？
見えないものを見る力。その力で、私を探し出してね。
すべてって、僕はムツキを見つけるだけじゃダメなのか？それだって、どうしていいか途方に暮れてるっていうのに。
お兄ちゃんならできるよ。じゃあ、私は行くね。
おい、待てよ。ムツキはどこにいるんだ？
知ってるでしょ？夢の中の月。見えるけど見えないところ。そこは。
ムツキ。
こんにちは。
え？
I was having a continuation of last night's dream, and when I come to my senses, a girl that I've seen somewhere before is calling out to me. She's... well, it's Yumi, of course.
君は、ユミ？
はい。ひなたくんですよね。
うん、そうです。
よかった。違ってたらどうしようと思ったけど、この間は、ありがとうございました。
え？ああ、カードの件か。いや、もう気にしないで。会うたびに言われると、こっちも恐縮しちゃうから。
そうですよね。ごめんなさい。
You don't need to keep apologizing like that, is what I was trying to imply, but...
ひなたくんは、よく図書館に来るんですか？
いや、今日はたまたまなんだけどね。
ということは、何か探したい本があったんですね。
うん、そういうことになるかな。
Because Sakuya was the one who brought me here, I can't give a deeper response than that. I want to avoid an awkward situation. Right then... an extremely familiar pain assaults my right ear.
ちょっと、私が必死に資料を探してきてしんどい思いをして運んできてるっていうのに、ひなたは何をやってるのよ。
わかったから話してよね。
At that moment, a voice comes from far away.
図書館ではお静かに願います。
As soon as she hears that, Sakuya lets go of me.
ブー。
But it doesn't stop her from muttering to herself.
ああ、うん。
じゃあユミは失礼します。これ以上お邪魔してもいけないし。
ああ、そう。
じゃあね。バイバイ、ひなたくん。
うん。さよなら。
Yumi heads over to the library counter as if nothing happened. She returns her book and... it seems that she's borrowing a new book as well.
ユミ、ねえ。
ん？
ちょっと目を離すとすぐナンパするんだから。
そうじゃないだろ。たまたま向こうから話しかけられたの。
逆な？もう、本当にムツキちゃんを探そうっていう気があるのかしら。私がこんなに一生懸命やってるっていうのに。
That's right. I don't have time to think about Yumi right now.
ところで、すごい量の本だね。
For now, I'll change the subject.
ああ、うん。結構うちの図書館充実してるよね。
Well, it's called a library, not a library room. It's a spacious three-story hall filled to the brim with books and documents. Kyoka Academy's institutions are famous even in the rest of Tokyo.
オリエントの神話関係だけでもこんなにあったんだから。
オリエント？
うん。シュメールとかバビロニアとかメソポタミアとか、今のイラクあたりの中東の神話だけど。
Wait, just how is this related to our search for the password?
とりあえず、ムツキちゃんの失踪がバビロンに関係してるんだとしたら、このバビロニアの神話伝説からチェックしてみるといいんじゃないかな。
Yeah?
だからオリエントの神話なのか。
うん、そうだけど。
サクヤ、貸して。
At that instant, I begin flipping pages as if someone flipped a switch in my head. The answer lies in this book, or at the very least there should be a hint or two in it. Babylonia, the term developed from merely an adjective used to describe the city of Babylon to the name of the country and territory that had Babylon as its core. And Babylon originated from Babel. Babel, or Bab-il, means gate of God. Since that gate couldn't be entered, does that mean you needed to pass through the gate to become a god? I suddenly look up from the documents and see Yumi's back as she leaves the library. She looks a bit lonely, and then just when it feels like she's going to turn around and look towards me...
ねえねえ、ひなた、これこれ。
That voice brings me back once more.
何？
Sakuya points to a page. On it is...
シャマシュ。バビロニアの太陽神。英雄ギルガメシュの守護神で、聖樹を守る石化獣フンババと戦うとき、シャマシュは神の風を送って英雄を助けた。
ねえねえ、見直した？
なんでこんなことに気づかなかったんだろう。シャマシュはバビロニアの神。そうだ。それはあり得ることじゃないか。僕は盲目だった。
ひなたってば。
ありがとう、サクヤ。とりあえず、この資料に当たりをつけて、必要そうな部分は全部コピー取っちゃおう。
わかった。
よし、やるぞ。
I begin to pour through the materials Sakuya got for me one after another. All worldly thoughts disappear from my brain as I start to move towards one goal and one goal alone.
そっか。
あ？
Sakuya is looking at me with strangely warm eyes.
やっぱりひなたは目的が見つかるととことんやるんだよね。だからここ2年は目的を見失っていただけなんだよね。
あ。
Does Sakuya feel that deeply about that? I feel myself get a bit embarrassed from guilt. So in order to hide that...
サクヤも一緒に手がかりを探してくれ。頼むよ。
I say this.
そうだね。私も頑張るよ。
My beloved sister, my beloved playmate. Right now, the three of us are starting to move together in order to recover our lost pasts and to live for the future. Suddenly, I remember something and look towards the exit. Obviously, Yumi isn't there anymore. I need to focus on the documents. I look at the entry next to Shamash and begin to read it.
神。バビロニアの月の女神。階段状ピラミッドであるジッグラットは、本来は神に捧げられた神殿である。
Scene. The god of time, fate, and the moon in Babylonian mythology. His Sumerian counterpart is Nana. Well, now that's interesting. Considering the name that Sakuya gave her stuffed rabbit. Could that be related? The ziggurat of Ur was the temple dedicated to honor Sin and Nana. Ziggurat 1, a staircase-esque pyramid in Babylonia, also called the Tower of Babel. According to the Old Testament, God was displeased that humans tried to make a tower that reached heaven. God made languages so everyone couldn't communicate with each other. As a result, the tower was never completed. Later, Babel would also come to be known as Babel, or to say words that make no sense. 2. The headquarters of the MMORPG Babylon. Mutsuki's name has the kanji for moon, ski, in it. And my name is Hinata, which literally means sunny place. Although I read that it actually means... No, never mind. If Mutsuki gave me the name of the sun god, then...
ムツキはもしかしたら、バビロンでは神とかそういう月の女神の名前を名乗ってるんじゃないだろうか。
It's not a direct hint for Shamash's password, but even so, I think this is information worth remembering.
それは確かにあり得るかも。女の子はロマンティックだから神秘的な存在にあやかったりするのよね。
My field of vision suddenly seems to clear at those words. I feel like I saw something. Is this like what you meant by seeing something invisible? I want you to tell me, Mutsuki.